Here's your Storm Track 7 forecast.
Good afternoon, I'm Storm Track 7 meteorologist Joshua Franson, and it's another warmer day on tap for today, but much like yesterday, we could see some storms in the afternoon. So let's start by breaking down the winds today. Actually not too strong, generally out of the west before shifting out of the east tonight, but as that wind shift happens, we could see some storms move on through. The overall speeds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour before they shift out of the northwest a little bit later tomorrow. So here's the severe thunderstorm risk for today. Now, main risk is down in Kansas and northern Oklahoma, but across our area, a lot of us sitting at a level 1 out of 5 with just barely that level 2 out of 5 clipping some of our areas southward. So we could see an isolated strong storm as we head into the afternoon. Breaking that down with Futurecast, going into the future, less clouds off to the south will help them heat up a little bit more, provides a little bit more energy for storms combined with that moisture moving up from the south. And well, by about 3 p.m., we could see an isolated strong storm or two as this initial band of rain moves on by. That severe threat continues into the afternoon until about 8 p.m. as we enter the evening hours and will begin to diminish after 8 p.m. That's where we'll start to see some widespread rainfall move in across our area. That will start our day off tomorrow and persist throughout the day until a little bit later in the evening tomorrow. But overall for today, temperatures getting into the 80s and lower 90s across the board here. Further off to the south, just a little bit warmer due to the less of that cloud cover moving through. Tonight, dropping off into the 60s. Areas southward once again just a little bit warmer. Tomorrow we'll see temperatures a little bit cooler, hanging out to the mid and upper 70s. We'll see rain for a good chunk of the day, and if it's not raining, mostly cloudy skies. Now further ahead, we're going to see a change in the forecast once again. We're going to see those temperatures begin to surge along with the dew points. So as we head throughout the week here, notice our temperatures are pretty much normal, but once we get a little bit closer to the weekend, we start to see high pressure build out west, collecting a lot of heat under it. That slides our way and begins to move in over the weekend. That sets us up for a very dry but also very, very warm weekend. So if we start with the dew points, we fall off on Thursday, but notice the jump between Thursday and Friday, and then that gets into the 70s by Saturday. That's pretty uncomfortable in terms of dew points, and that will allow our heat indices to also climb, going from the 80s on Thursday to the 90s on Friday, and then getting into the 100s by Saturday, and it's likely to continue on Sunday and Monday as well. So keep that in mind. If you have weekend plans, it's going to be very warm. You're going to want to make sure you're wearing loose fit clothing and drinking plenty of water. But on your city-by-city forecast, rain begins to move out on Thursday, and then that heat increase moves in for the weekend. That's why we have alert days for the weekend, is because those heat indices will be high, and then we kick off next week with another isolated storm chance.